Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of the Old Fashioned Podcast. With me, the guy who stopped creating content. Haha, no, it didn't. It literally says in the letter that I wrote that I will continue creating content, and you are all like, goodbye, we'll never see you again. Me, Kevin, and my buddy Mike.
Hey.
Who so many of you should know from the podcast known as The Worst Radio Show, which is now gone.
R.I.P.
Forever. That one's gone forever. You'll never see that again.
I'm
I
pretty
guarantee
sure.
you Wayne and Pete and Rob will poke their heads in here from time to time. But yeah, this is the new adventure for me and Mike to discuss crazy things and be assholes and say the honest opinions on movies, television shows, life, video games, parenting. What else, Mike?
Relationship advice? Solid relationship advice.
Giving relationship advice?
Life coaching?
Oh no, we're carrying that over?
I think I could. Yeah, I still think I can make that a business. I could turn that into a profitable stance.
All right, well, maybe we'll bring the life coaching back.
Right.
We're going to put some time in before we start Patreon and stuff like that.
Yeah, let's get some episodes.
Yeah, we're going to put some time in, but maybe life coaching with Michael will return.
I mean, I just generic life coaching here on the podcast. Just live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, okay. Sounds good. I had no idea. I will change the tag in the metadata on the feed.
That'll get us more hits.
Yeah, we'll get somebody hit. That's for sure. Anyway, welcome to the show. This is the first episode. We're super excited to launch this. Honestly, joking aside for a second, it's going to be a fun show. It's going to be me, Mike, shooting the shit and talking about all sorts of stuff. We're very steeped in nerd culture, so that'll come up. But also life in general and lifestyle, et cetera, and we're gonna bring guests in every so often. I have a list of people that I'm gonna reach out to bring on the show from all walks of life.
I'm so excited.
All walks of life. I got musician friends, I got business friends, I got gaming people, developers, the whole 9 yards. People I've known for years and years and years, and bring them on the show to chit chat about whatever they're working on and life. So. That's the show, and we are going to move forward with it right now. The first topic I ever wanted to discuss one-on-one with Mike on the show. Mike, what was the moment that you knew it was futile to keep your hair and you decided to shave your head?
Oh, okay. So for a while, for how many years? I want to think it was recent, but it really wasn't recent.
No, you were shaved when I met you.
Yeah, it was a good while ago. Well, so for a while, I was doing like a pump.
Oh, like the spray-on hair?
No. So I had like a little pompadour going where I would shave the sides.
I thought you said a pump. I was
no. Pump, no. So when I started realizing that the top of my head looked thinner than the sides of my head,
right?
That was fucking actively being faded by a razor, that I had a real problem. And that it just all needed to go.
That was when I met you. You were slick back gaming, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I was. I had full on like the grease in the hair and everything, and then my top of my head just started going really thin. And when you could see through and see the top of my head, I was like, nah, it's got to go.
Did you have like the full grease goofy from the 50s pompadour with like the circular? Oh, that's hot. You gotta send me a picture.
It was never standing high. Like it was never a high pomp.
Got it.
It was more of a slick back, but I definitely folded the top over.
For me, it was when Danielle gave me a haircut during COVID this year, and she butchered the back of my head, and she took a picture of it to show everybody. And she showed me the picture, and the picture was just like the bald was just staring back at me like the endless void.
Oh.
And I just said, all right, it's time. And I texted Ben immediately, and I said, Ben, I'm going to do it finally. I'm going to shave my head. And he replied, terrific. Well, first of all, welcome. And then we kind of went from there.
Isn't it not a sinking feeling? It's a sinking feeling because it was different when I was younger and I would shave my head during the summer or something like that, as I had the option. I could go back.
Yeah.
There is no going back now. I guess Bosley is about as far back as I can go.
Yeah, you can literally there was this spray that I was using that would fill it in and make the hair follicles thicker. Pete would call it my spray on hair. Every time it would come up. Or
spray-on's like my that's my option.
Yeah, I mean it works, gets the job done. But yeah, you could go to that Bosley Hair Center for Men or whatever. So it's an option, or you could get a toupee.
Toupee it. I'll rug it.
Yeah, you could do bald and a toupee. Like we could both get toupees now, and
we could just
removable hair.
Embrace that we're bald, but then also sport different fashions. Just embrace the toupee.
I don't even care anymore. Like I'm bald, and that's all that matters. It's whatever.
I still have you. Wait, are you still buzzing, or have you gone to shaving yet?
No, I'm still buzzing, but I went to go buy the Pitbull. Mike showed me this razor that basically fits in the palm of your hand instead of a traditional razor, and then you can just drop it on your head and it contours to your head to get a closer buzz.
So nice.
Yeah, but guess what was sold out most of COVID and just came back in stock yesterday?
Of course it was.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I wasn't going to buy the $250 platinum one they sell. I just wanted the $100 black one they sell. So
yeah, that's the one and I got the Carver head. It's for like coarse hair.
Yep.
Dude, every day I hit it up. It's perfect. Like it's still a razor, so it's not like it's a buzzer essentially. So it's not like a razor, but I'll tell you what, man, it is damn near close.
Damn near close. That's what I want. I don't want to go full on.
I mean, so the difference is when you use an actual razor, it's baby soft, but it's got that kind of shine to it,
yes.
Right? Your head,
yep,
and it lasts a little longer. This, it looks the part, but there's no shine, and by the next day you'll have stubble.
Yeah, I'm doing it every other day now, and even day 2, it's like a little bit longer than I would like. So I always do it before I go out or whatever. But I want the palm one, the Pitbull, because it'll just be easier. Right now I'm doing it in the shower with my ball razor, the Manscaper.
Yeah,
I'm doing it with the ball razor.
You need 2 separate razors.
And before anyone comes at me on Twitter and is like, "You shave your head with the same thing that you shave your balls with?" No, I shave my head, my balls, and my face all with the same razor. It doesn't matter. It's my body. Who cares? You sweat the same way.
And
all
then
over.
I don't know about you, but you don't just go straight in and just start shaving dirty ball hair.
No,
I mean, you shower.
I do it in the shower.
Exactly.
It's so much easier than doing it at any other point of the day and separating it. You get it all done in one shot. Bing,
so you're
bang,
not
boom.
Ripping sweaty pubes and then going right to a mustache.
No, everything's clean and washed with a wonderful body spray from not body spray, body wash. What's it called? Every Man Jack is the one I use. It's the sandalwood scent.
Ooh,
yes.
I like sandalwood.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely. It's very
it is
very refined, aged.
Very delightful.
I don't know. I just wanted to ask you about being bald because I don't really get to talk to too many people about it, and people that are bald seem to want to talk about it all the time.
There's not a whole lot of us out there, I feel like.
There's more than I thought when I did it. Everyone was sending me pictures like, yeah, and especially after COVID with the no haircuts.
Well, yeah, COVID was convenient for us because now we have all the wannabes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I was originally going to do a mohawk, but
it's cool. Oh, I just had the mohawk conversation. So growing up, I don't know why, but it was I was allowed to have a mohawk like 1 month it was during the summer. I couldn't have it when I went to school. Like my parents were ashamed of me if I had one. It was the weirdest fucking, I don't know. It was just very weird that it was just so frowned upon. And I don't know if it was just like they had a stigma in the 90s or something like that. But now that it's flipped and I'm the parent and I have a kid and I'm like, well, why wouldn't I cut a little mohawk into him? A,
it's different now.
He's a kid. It's cute. B, he has this window of opportunity between now and when he gets a real fucking job to actually do this weird, funky stuff.
Right.
Why would I not allow him to do it right now when there's no consequence?
Unless he gets a job like me where it's not actually a real job and you can do whatever you want with your hair.
He could be so lucky. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not luck according to the industry, Michael. It's
Oh, that's right.
It's not luck. All you have to do is work hard and your wildest dreams will come true. But Disney is evil for giving
hard
kids
work.
Disney is evil for giving kids a false narrative, right? Me.
Everyone can be.
Everyone can be. You can follow your dreams, says the guy who
We're all winners.
who retired 2 days ago. Semi-retired. We'll talk about that too. The hair thing with me, same thing. Like my mom hated when I would dye my hair or would cut it in ridiculous ways. Sometimes I'd wear a hat for like a week to try and hide it from her, and she'd rip it off my head and be like, "You're fixing that." But now with our kids,
get rid of it.
I think it was like this process is that there was a stigma attached to it, and we grew up with that stigma, and we wanted it, and we did it, and we broke the rules, and blah blah blah. But we're not mainlining heroin now, like they thought we would if we cut our hair like that.
Right.
So to us, it's so much different because we don't associate that with drugs and quote unquote bad things.
But I don't understand where they got that idea from. Was it just like MTV at the time?
Yeah, gutter punks and that whole scene.
You look at it now and it's just like, oh, okay. Like, okay, yeah, I could have had this haircut then too when, I wouldn't be sent home from work.
The information age has also exposed the larger spectrum of people that quote unquote do bad things, and there really isn't a stereotype attached to it.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody from every walk of life is capable of horrible shit. So back when we were young, it was like these type of people do this stuff. Now there's still people that think narrow-minded like that, but people like you and I we're ahead of the curve. But
so I don't know if this is age, and if it is age,
I'll tell you immediately because I'm old.
Okay, so I don't really want to know. So I stopped up and I got some work done yesterday.
Yep.
On my arm. Okay. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just age or if it's just where I was getting tattooed. So it was from my elbow down. And in my defense, there's a lot of elbow work.
Can I guess what you're going to say right now?
Yes.
You couldn't sit for as long as you thought you could.
No, so I could sit. The longest I've sat was 9.5 hours.
God bless you. 6 is mine.
Here's, dude, I felt like a fucking freight train ran me over.
Oh, that's age, 100%.
Dude, everything from my neck to my knees hurt. And all I did was get an arm tattoo.
Yeah, that's age. Sorry, bud.
Everything hurt. Like, it felt like I got blindsided.
2 to 3 hours tops. More like 2 now for the chair for me, and I'm done. And my guy is cool with it because he's my age. So Nick, who tattoos me, he's like, yeah, 3 hours, we're good. He comes in on his day off because he lives right by the shop. I drive over to St. Pete. 2 hours, bing, bang, boom, and he enjoys the rest of his day. He got paid for 2 hours of work. I'm happy because I'm out of that chair in 2 hours. I go get a smoothie. I always have a smoothie after I get tattooed. Something about a smoothie putting, I guess, vitamins and crap back in my body after whatever I just did to myself. I don't know. I always feel fantastic. So there's a smoothie place right by the tattoo place. This is my new routine of Florida tattooing. But yeah, dude, 2 hours and I'm done.
See, I feel so my guy he does blocks between 4 and 5 hours. Right now with COVID, it's different because only one person per room in the shop.
Let me ask you about this. Were you masked and he masked? Like, what was the protocol here?
Yes, we both had masks.
Okay. Interesting. I've been meaning to text Nick to reschedule my appointment because my appointment was May.
So we both wear masks. Obviously, there's a COVID waiver, and then we do a temp before the tattoo starts.
Got it.
Which he said, he's like, none of this is required by state, but it just, like, anyone who's new to the shop, it makes them feel a little bit more comfortable with what's going on.
Imagine living in a state with no requirements.
Dude, my state, we have... Pennsylvania, there is no tattoo license required to tattoo.
Oh, I was talking about COVID, but that's scary.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you could tattoo in your fucking bedroom.
Hot.
And not get in trouble for it.
Love
There
those-
is no regulation like that.
Those kitchen table tattoos that your buddy
Yep.
who was, or your buddy, it was always your buddy's buddy that was learning to tattoo. And he
Yep.
didn't have a shop, and it was like a basement or a dining room table when the parents weren't home, and they were like, "Yeah, just I'll do that like on your ankle." Yeah, all right. Can you do like a nautical star? Yeah, no problem. Da, da, da. And it's like the shittiest
The
tattoo.
nautical stars.
It's the shittiest tattoo you've ever seen in your life, and everyone's sitting around like, "That's so cool," but everyone's really thinking like, "You are never gonna make it in this business." And now you see
Never.
them on Instagram, and they're fantastic because they got to practice on your idiot friends.
But there's so many guys that are just garbage, still like bad tattooers, but they've just been in it for so long that they're just likable people.
We call those the people that own the shops where you can pick what you want off the wall at 11:30 at night after you've
The
been
flash
drinking.
shops.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't play those games.
Me neither. I've been going to the same guy since I was 18, 19.
I have to find out the name, but the people that own the shop that I go to actually tattoo in Philly. I should find out because you might know who they are.
They're tattooing over here now?
They own the shop in St. Pete, but they rent out all the chairs basically now. They don't tattoo here anymore, and they have a company in Philly that does tattoo, but they also do graphic design in the same space. So it's all one like art facility where they do
that's
tattoos.
pretty smart.
Yeah. It's a really actually cool business model. I'll get the name from him. I forgot it right now, but I'll
That's
I'll get it
awesome.
for you because it's I forget her name. Her work is phenomenal too. She's incredible. I'll find out. Yeah. So that is old age. That is your pain.
Man, damn.
Is old age. I'll tell you my old age journey that I'm going through right now. So when we made the announcement a few days ago that I'm not going to be full-time streaming anymore, but I can make this announcement now that in addition to this podcast, Old Fashioned is going to be taking over the K-Magic Twitch channel, the old WRS YouTube channel, and Mike and I are going to be creating content together
Yes.
on said channels. So
there will still be gaming.
yep, I'm already commissioning some emotes with Mike's face on them that I didn't tell him about yet. So those will be cool. But yeah, that'll be on twitch.tv/ I got to figure out what username I can get tonight when I change it over, because all of you are going to find out about this tomorrow, because Mike and I are recording this in the future. Past. You're in the future. We're in the past. Yep, that's it.
That's how time works.
Yeah, the same with the Twitter. I got to see what username I can secure. Anyway, so I did announce that I'm not going to be doing full-time content creation anymore, which is honestly it's been a relief, because trying to operate the companies and do content creation has been absolutely mind-numbingly backbreaking for me. And I
Yeah.
was going to hit my breaking point of frustration, and instead I sat down with the crew, sat down with Ben and Tim, and I spoke to them. And this is the plan that we all agreed on would be best for everybody. So I made the announcement. I didn't even know where was I going with that originally. We were talking about
Updates.
tattoos, and then we're about to talk about something.
Feeling old. Oh, you said when you
Feeling old.
You're
Thank you.
feeling old moment.
So we've had this plan for about 2 months, and I've been taking master classes, and I've been taking I took Bob Iger's master class. Bob Iger, if you don't know, is the former CEO of Disney. And his routine inspired me. He gets up at 4:15 in the morning, works out, but little things about his routine that I changed my routine, and this is when I felt old. During COVID, I got super lazy. I was getting up at 6 before COVID, after when we were all stuck at home and my son didn't have to be at school until like he had to be on the computer. I was getting up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock, 7:15 sometimes if I was really lazy. So once I went through this master class, I got back on a schedule. So I've been getting up at 5:45. Actually, this week I start 5:30 getting up. My goal is to get to 5:15. So 5:30, I'm getting up now. I go work out. I don't check my phone first thing in the morning, which is life altering. I did not know how much stress I invited into my life by scrolling through Twitter first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Eliminating that till about 7 o'clock has been life altering, and then turning it off at night.
I don't have to deal with that like you do.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah, I don't have to. I'll just ignore it for like a week.
Oh, it's the dream.
And I'm like, oh, I should probably tweet something.
That's the dream. So changing that habit and making sure you take time for yourself. Bob's like, I'm the first one in the office. I make the coffee because I'm in there at like 6 and nobody shows up at the Disney office till about 7:15. And I was like, that should be me. Because Paul always comes to me and he's like, man, getting up early. Because he's 20. What is he, 22, 23? He's in that phase of life, Mike. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He stays up till 5 a.m. playing Among Us with his crew. And, even on a work night, which to me is just not even at 10:30, I'm yawning now. So basically built it around this Bob Iger. If you get the chance to take the master class, it's really good. It's all about leadership and that stuff. So I'm changing my schedule. I am now at the point where even on a Sunday when I don't have a schedule, I can't sleep past 6:45.
Good.
6:45 a.m. on a Sunday. My kids could be at my in-laws. I'm up.
Yeah, but don't you feel like you have so much more time to get the shit done that you need to get done?
Here's the kicker. At 10 o'clock, I'm like, man, I used to make it through a Sunday night football game, no problem. I'm like at halftime, I'm like, oh, man, I'm not going to make it through this game.
Yawning out?
That's it. Yeah.
Dude, there's something to be said for a fucking schedule, though. Because if you're... I've noticed, like, if I'm set on a pace where it's just work, which is fine. It is what it is. When you get to that day off and you're like, oh shit, like I got like 5 days off coming up. Getting back to work, whereas it wasn't a problem before during my routine, I was just like, yeah, no, just hit the go button, press down on W, move forward. Just keep going. As soon as you stop and you break the routine of just keep going, it is so much harder to get back into it again.
Yeah. And
it hurts.
The thing that I'm trying to do now too is also schedule out time for myself. Not everybody has this opportunity, but now that I'm not putting in 6 hours of streaming every day. I've broken up my time into office hours, creative time, because I'm working on a project. Rare Drop's working on a really cool project, which I'll tell you about after we are done recording. It's like a dream project, but I'm the creative lead on it. So I need time to actually sit down with my notebook and do my thing, which I don't remember the last time I had the opportunity to do that since college, where I was able to just like, somebody wanted me to be creative and think of cool shit. And it sounds so cool on the surface and everyone's like, oh man, that's awesome. But like, if you don't have the time to block everything else out and bring in that creativity, you're not going to be able to do it. So I'm literally taking like an hour or two in my day and just blocking out creative time. And then I'm blocking out learning time to do Udemy classes, time to do master classes, things like that. So I can, further my knowledge of life and business and everything. Even it's cool. Like it's not always business. Sometimes it's a cooking class to pick up on some new shit. Like I just want to learn things and incorporate them into my life.
That's why I have so much respect for actual quality, creative, original graphic designers.
Yeah.
Because coming up with that type of shit on a time frame, working on multiple accounts at once is to be able to come up with something like that, creative on the spot, is impressive.
My wife is, she said she's been starved for creativity lately because Mike knows, but if you don't know, she's a designer. She does architecture, she does interior design, she does graphic design. And she said she's been starved for creativity lately. So I told her, I was like, you need to sit with your tablet or your notebook if you want to do pen and paper, and put some headphones on. She listens to Bjork when she really wants to get like absolutely nuts.
Nice.
I was like, put some Bjork on, sit outside, away from a television, away from children, and just like do your thing for an hour or two. So I've told her like, you need to start doing that.
This would be my recommendation, and this is something because starting in not really grade school, but middle school probably and up, I was heavily into art, drawing, charcoal, all different types, but everything was always medium to paper. whatever I was using. But it was always paper. That was the canvas. And one of my art teachers gave me advice that it rings so true even today. And she was like, you need to get out and you need to work with different mediums, because working with different mediums will inspire you on the one topic that you like. So if paper was my thing, go and experience 3D art, because it'll improve your paper art. So I started taking all these different other classes, and that's when I fell in love with glass blowing. But
yeah, you told me about that a long time ago.
Yeah, I blew glass for like 3 years. But it wasn't the fucking pipes. It was like the actual old school Italian glass blowing with the big pipes and the big ass fucking 2200 degree glory holes.
They do that at they're probably not doing it right now, but at Magic Kingdom at Disney.
Yeah, with the big blow pipes
in Main Street. There's a guy that does like classic.
Yeah.
You would love it.
That's what I do. We used to shape the glass by cooling specific areas, and you would use wet newspaper and your hands.
What was the show that they did that? There was a Netflix show.
I don't know.
Where did I see that? Somewhere. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
So what I would suggest is even if you and her try to explore a new form of creativity just to spark the form that you really enjoy. You will see improvement on the other end.
She wants to dive into her Adobe tools on her tablet, because she said I haven't even been able to explore like brushes and pens and things like that to really get like nutty. So she really wants to dive into her iPad and see what it can do, because she's never had the chance. She always just used it as pen and paper and like swapped out brushes on the fly for things that work. So she's never really gotten to experiment with it. So
all right,
I think she's going to give that a whirl for a while. She did, what was she doing? She's doing like pottery stuff for a little bit when we lived in New York. So
yeah, there you go. That's exactly what you need to do.
She's just got to get her mojo back. Having the children living with us, it's not conducive to a creative atmosphere, and we can't get rid of them because they're ours. So yeah, and the little one is she's like She-Hulk. She just smashes everything, Mike. Everything.
Good for her.
The dog is it's basically like the dog is an obstruction for where she needs to be. So the poor dog is trying to like love me, and she's just like, get the fuck out of my way, and like
takes on the brunt of the abuse.
Yeah, like just swats him to the side. I'm like, my God, child. And she broke one of my Danielle got me mixing bowl set for my birthday. Yeah, I'm that old. She got me a mixing bowl set for my birthday, and the kid smashed the mixing bowl on the ground and broke it. So
was it glass?
No, it was like hard plastic.
And she broke it?
Yeah, she just picked it up with two hands and smashed it on the ground.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's my youngest. She's we call her the destroyer.
Destroyer of worlds.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know. She's She-Hulk. That's the best example. So she's not really conducive to a creative environment, but we're trying to make it work. And I'll be back in the Rare Drop office in like 2 weeks, and I can actually like carve out time, because right now in my streaming room is currently my office for everything, but there's no windows, so it's kind of like being in prison. I can leave and go outside, but then I can't really get work done. So I just take breaks and I put my feet in the pool, and then I come back into my windowless prison. Now for streaming, it was great because there's no sunlight to contest with. But for regular everyday work, it's just like, if I hung out in here too long, I'm going to go nuts.
Now, will you be downsizing your office? Your studio, in-house studio?
No, because I'm still going to use it for content. So
yeah,
I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I won't upgrade it as much as I was upgrading it previously. But I saw my workout stuff in here. I've changed that's another lifestyle change that I've done. I've changed my entire routine with the waking up early. So I started getting back into Peloton and biking every day. And after a few weeks of that, I brought yoga back into the mix. Now, I have done Peloton by itself and I've done yoga by itself, but I've never done both at the same time. So now 6 days a week, it's 3 days Peloton, 3 days yoga, 1 day off. And I've been in the swing, and man, getting back into yoga is great and it's wonderful, but you realize how much you lost in flexibility from the last time you were in yoga.
I Dude, I went for a run the other day and I tried to sit there and stretch. Granted, I could still, no problem. Fingers to toes, no problem.
Yeah, I can't do
But
that.
holy shit, am I stiff? Like everything. My legs hurt and it's like they don't move like they used to, and I can't stretch out like I used to. And fuck.
It only gets worse.
Oh. I just
But-
need to keep the body in motion.
Yeah, just keep working out and do it. Are you still lifting?
Not as much, no. I need to. Like I need to.
Don't you have a gym at work or no?
They got rid of it.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So now it's like you got to get up at 4 a.m. So you make sure that you're at the gym early enough
That's what Tim
to get
does.
in, get your reps done, wash up, and then get to work.
That's what Tim does. He goes to the gym at 5 a.m.
Yep. I mean, it's great. However, like at least in my area, actually, your area has probably got the similar mindset. It's a very health, like conscious area
because you're borderline naked most of the year here. So
Right, so,
everyone's
like,
all about
yeah.
their bodies.
So it's not odd for people to be at the gym that early. So it's infuriating waiting for a piece of equipment that early in the morning, and I'm on a time, like I need to get in, get my shit done, get out.
Tim says that's why he goes at 5 because it's the only time no one's there, and then by the time he's leaving, everyone's coming in.
Yeah.
Also, my neighbor,
there's a line
my
at my
neighbor-
gym waiting.
my neighbor might be one of the only people that doesn't subscribe to this method because he just lets it all hang out, and he is a very large man from the Bronx. And I don't think I've seen him with a shirt on.
Embracing life.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen him with a shirt on in the 9 months he's lived next door to me.
If I lived in Florida, I also would not have a shirt on ever.
I was on a call last night and he was in his house, but he never draws the blinds or anything.
That's weird.
So I was outside. Like, I like to pace when I'm on a conference call. It's just a tick that I have.
I do the same thing. Totally do the same thing.
So I walk around my pool, and inside the screen. And every time I was coming around the bend to like the direction of looking at his house, there he was just sitting there, letting it all hang out and blessing those rains down in Africa and whatever. And
is that a fucking me thing? Is there something wrong with me?
for what? Pacing?
For what? No. Like, okay, I pace all the time, but I'll be damned. If I close the blinds, 5 minutes later, my wife walks in the room, them fucking blinds are open.
We keep the blinds not open, but like turned out so there's sunlight. Because the back of my house, that's where all the sun comes in.
Right. But your master bath, why do the blinds need to be open in the bathroom? Master bath.
No, we don't do. She angles them so like you can get sunlight in, but you can't really see out in our bathroom. Yeah.
No.
Unless you're trying to like show off to the neighbors or something. I don't know.
Well, my thing is because the shower in our bathroom I'm working on, and I have like 50 fucking home projects
I was
going
gonna
on.
say
at one
you're
time.
always working on something.
So we're not really using that shower. We're using the shower in the guest room.
For the house you told me you're gonna sell in 3 years.
That's why it's all shit has to get done because we're getting rid of it. We're selling it
What
while
a
the market's
concept,
good.
though. I'm making this nicer for other people.
Yeah, dude, we got our comps, and I'm like, fuck yeah, those comps look good.
All right.
So, dude, we'll be making a lot of money.
Okay.
We don't ask me where we're staying in the midterm though. We use the guest bathroom. We my in-laws have offered, and it's been I'm pretty sure accepted.
Watch out for the camera.
And she will open Grayson's blinds, curtains, and windows. And when you step out of that bathroom, hot damn, is it a straight line right down? And I'm in my house, dude. I don't need to wear a towel from the bathroom to my room.
Yeah, man. I hear you. Sometimes she leaves the bedroom blinds like open, and I didn't know that she opened them yet. And I get out of the shower, and then she left the bathroom door open too.
Yep.
So I'm just like hanging brain out there to anyone that's walking by the back of my house or.
So I said, all right, well, fine. If you see one of our neighbors walk up and she's talking to me at the front door, it's your fault.
No, it's just because she wants some because she saw it. I know you won't.
I was like, come on. The whole neighborhood seeing it.
Mike, I told you to watch this trailer before we got online today. We're not online, we're recording. But I made you watch the trailer for Fat Man starring Mel Gibson.
Only Mel Gibson would want to make Santa hard.
At what point did you realize it wasn't some sort of Onion fake movie trailer?
When they had what the hell's the bad guys, the guy who's trying to hunt Santa down?
Oh, I forget his name, but I know who you're talking about.
He's like, I wouldn't really call him B-list, but he's a known actor. I was like, okay, this actually has a cast. This is a legit cast. I don't know who fucking Damien is in the beginning, but this is a legit cast.
I don't know who greenlit that movie. If they go into it, if you don't know the premise of this, it's called Fat Man. It's starring Mel Gibson. Basically, some kid got coal for Christmas one year, and he must be like rich and powerful. He's not much older, and he decides to get a hitman to try and kill Santa Claus.
And if you watch it, it seems very much like the premise, like this kid has like a hitman on speed dial. Like he does this frequently.
Yeah. So,
you know what this reminds me of?
What?
You remember in the Santa Claus, before he realizes he's actually Santa Claus, and they introduce at the toy meeting the Santa in a Panzer?
Yeah. I remember that.
That's like, if that was a reality, if that toy became a reality, this is what Santa would turn into.
So if the movie is setting out to not take it seriously, it has a chance. If they're dead serious about this plot, which I can't tell one way or the other, to be honest, from that trailer.
Yeah, but how many satirical has Mel Gibson really done anything like parody like that?
No, he's like dramas, action epics, and romantic comedies, to my knowledge.
Yeah,
So, let me say this. Last year, or 2 years ago now, The Christmas Chronicles came out on Netflix. Did you watch that one?
No.
Okay, I'm not going to give you the synopsis because I want you to watch it when after Thanksgiving, obviously. Although during this year, I'm probably putting my tree up early because COVID and I want to be happy.
All right, fair enough.
So, Christmas Chronicles came out on Netflix, and I was like, what is this? Kurt Russell as Santa Claus? Really? This is the dumbest thing. And then I watched it with the boy, and I was like, this movie is now added to my official list of Christmas movies.
Really? It was that good?
Kurt Russell is the Santa Claus you never knew you needed.
Really?
Yeah, he's like an old pissed off Santa Claus. It's great. He's I don't want to say he's sick of it because he's not sick of it, but he's an old Santa Claus who's just like kind of like all the stereotypes are overplayed and he's just kind of over some of it. It's good. I enjoy the movie. I think it's a good Christmas movie. It's part of our now family Christmas tradition of movies that we watch. We have a bunch. So I was really skeptical about that. I'm going to give this one a whirl. Obviously, I'm not going to watch this with my son.
Well, I have to watch this now.
Oh, yeah. Mike and I will report back. Yeah, this is.
You have to watch this.
Non-negotiable.
So going over some of it. So Daddy's Home 2, he was in. Forgot about that. And that was kind of like a family comedy. Then you have The Expendables 3, which, I mean, that was a parody, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Expendables, and then by all accounts, is a parody.
Yeah. And he was also in Machete Kills. I forgot about that.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, and those are hilarious movies. So I guess it does have a chance to be an action comedy from Mel Gibson.
If he is going for the idea that this is going to be a meme like out of the gate, I think this movie could do it. If it's trying to be funny and cute, I don't know if it has enough steam. And obviously, if it's taking itself seriously, then it could be better than both scenarios because that could be another. What's that movie? The Room?
That's true.
So I don't know.
Yeah. IMDb, this is what they have. They have Santa Claus must contend with a hitman sent from a disappointed child. That's all they have on it.
I mean, I giggle at the description.
What, Ian, what else did you direct?
Oh, that's
Waffle
a good
Street.
Nope, never seen it.
Squirrel Trap? Nope. All right, what about you? Okay, looks like either he goes by two names or they just work on everything together.
He has an alias. I like it.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's see.
Are you a Halloween person?
I love Halloween.
See, I hate Halloween. It doesn't do it for me. Yeah, my most Halloween thing that I do is every October I watch The Twilight Zone all the way through. That's it. That's about as deep as I get because that's where my interest in that genre lies. I love a good psychological thriller. I do not like horror. I don't like gore.
What about just the holiday?
No, doesn't do anything for me.
Really?
Yeah, I'm the guy that's, can we skip October and go straight to November so I can stuff my face and put up my Christmas tree?
Ew.
That's me.
Ew.
Yeah, Halloween doesn't do it for me on any level.
I love Halloween.
No, Halloween doesn't do it for me.
You know what doesn't do it for me at all?
Christmas?
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve sucks.
It sucks. It blows. I would rather we just not celebrate it at all.
When we were 22, New Year's Eve was the best. You can go to a party. The women were fantastic. Yeah,
you know what the problem though? Most of the time, I was like with someone.
Think about this for New Year's Eve. Check this out. Think about the next time that not you, but someone at that age will go to a bar and kiss a random stranger at midnight in a post-COVID world.
It could never happen again.
It'll happen again, but we're a decade out. It's just people are going to be so different in situations like that.
Dude, the only time I actually went into the city and went out for New Year's Eve, it ended in a fight. And it was just horrible. It was a garbage time.
New Year's was always good.
Spent way too much on drinks. Actually, no. We went out for New Year's Eve in Texas, and that was fun.
New Year's was good, but by the time I turned 36, 35, I didn't want to stay up anymore.
I never really got into it. It was always hyped up, and every year it was like so-and-so's throwing a party or a bunch of us are going out to this bar, and it never fucking lived up to the hype. Ever. It was never worth staying up that late.
Last year, Danielle and I put the kids to bed, and then we watched the Chappelle Show comedy specials.
That's perfect. See, I would rather go play beer pong in someone's garage.
Yeah, that's what we did last year. It's New Year's to me is whatever. It's just another day. I'm not gonna stay up till midnight.
Man, I can't believe dude. We go out, get dressed up. I do. Now I do margaritas, but we used to do other drinks. You just fucking roam around with other parents.
Talking about vitamin C juice.
Yeah, health drink.
Yeah, man. Margaritas. It's me and Mike.
I love it.
Recommend.
We do all the movies. We watched that new Adam Sandler Halloween movie on Netflix last night.
Yeah, no, I don't like the genre. I'm not a fan. I don't like it. I used to like old horror movies, like the old House on Haunted Hill, the
Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, even before that, Black and Whites.
Oh,
Creature from the Black Lagoon, things like that.
So you're not even a fan of classic slashers?
There's a place for it in my life because I watched it growing up, but it's not something I go back and actively want to see again. I'm not. I
guess that's good for your mentally. That's good for your diet.
I think one of the best movies ever made, period, outside of the genre, or two, I'll say, from Halloween would be the original House on Haunted Hill. If you look at a movie and you take into account, and this is when we did the WRS, the top 10, the brackets and stuff.
Yeah.
Every time I pick something, you always have to take into account when the movie came out. It's the only fair way to compare movies. So when you look at House on Haunted Hill, which came out, I'll look up when it came out. House on Haunted Hill, the original. Nope, original. 1959. You look at the old House on Haunted Hill. You've seen it, right? I'm assuming the black and white, the old one.
No, not the black and white one.
Dude, it has what people consider one of the scariest scenes in history in a movie when the old lady comes out of the closet and she like, it's not even supposed to be scary. But the way they frame it and did it was, for 1959, it's one of the most terrifying things you've ever seen in your life. So I would say that's one of the best movies ever made. And then I would also say the original Night of the Living Dead, the black and white one, the first one.
That was good. I've seen that.
Yeah, it's one of the best movies ever made. But like I said, the original Friday the 13th, the original Nightmare, or probably the first 3 or 4 Nightmare on Elm Streets, honestly. They're good movies for what they are, but they're not something I like go back and want to watch and look at again. Event Horizon is one of my favorite movies. I guess
Event Horizon's good.
I don't know if that can considered a horror movie.
I consider that a psychological thriller.
But that's what I like. That's why I love Twilight Zone, because if you take into account when Twilight Zone was made, the first episodes are supposed to be like 1959. It's genius. The guy's like 50 years ahead of his time. He is introducing topics, concepts, and ideas that are just so not ready for the screen at that time that they have to film around the reality of it and write around the reality of it. He tackled things like racism. He tackled things like insanity. He loves to portray people that would be outwardly insane, but from their point of view, to make it seem like it's understandable why someone would react the way they are if they're thinking the things they're thinking and seeing the things they're seeing.
Right.
So I love that stuff and that side of Halloween, and that's why I do it in October. But that's about as deep as I get. I don't really go any deeper than that.
We don't really go like hard on the movies. It's just there's always an event going on around here, I guess. Like my sister throws like a big party. Stuff like that. It's always fun.
I would go to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios if I had someone to go with, because my wife won't go. She went once with an ex-boyfriend, and she said it was like traumatizing.
Okay, fair.
But like they do Stranger Things, Silent Hill.
Also, I've been trying to get Rob to come down before he relocated to go to the Eastern State Pen with me for Halloween.
I heard it's terrifying.
Because he's in a haunted house. Like, we should fucking do it. But then he moved, and now it's not so easy.
His wife, my cousin Lauren, was there at the one time they brought me to a haunted house. And you know I hate clowns. With a fiery passion, like hate clowns. And we got to the clown room, and the clown came up to my buddy, Eric. And he was like, doing the thing. And Eric's not scared of anything. Eric has seen some shit, and he didn't care. He was like, I'm not the one you want, but my buddy Kevin, you might want to go find him. And I was just like, fuck you, Eric. So then we're in this maze, and this clown is running around going, Kevin, where are you?
Oh,
and I'm
my
like,
God, dude, no.
Oh, God, this is it. This is where I kill an actor, and I go to prison.
No.
Yeah, so that wasn't fun.
Oh, God.
And the reason I hate clowns is because I'll never forget it. I was like 7, 8, 6, something like that. We're at my aunt's house in upstate New York, and the adults were watching it on television. And I snuck out of my bed, and I snuck behind the pool table, Mike, and I peeked. And then it was one of the scenes where he's opening his mouth, and he has all the teeth.
Oh, yep.
And it's just burned in my head for all eternity. And I was like, how do you trust something like that for the rest of your life?
You can't.
And then my aunt and stuff would take me like, we're going to the circus. I'm like, no, that's not a present.
You.
That's a prison sentence. Do not take me there. No.
We have a bunch. We have so we have the Eastern State Pen. They call that the Terror Behind the Walls. And we have Fright Factory. We have the Valley of Fear, which is a hayride. They also have a hayride. We have the Bates Motel, and we have Penhurst, all right in our area.
Wait, the actual Bates Motel? Or is it like an old motel that they turned into the Psycho?
I think it's just an old motel they turned into it.
Yeah, because that's not a true story, is it? Psycho?
I think it's just a haunted house, that's
supposed to be
like modeled after.
Got it. Psycho's another good horror movie.
American Psycho's awesome.
No, not American Psycho's fantastic. Psycho, the original Alfred Hitchcock.
Okay.
Is amazing. I feel like some of the people that listen to this are going to be who? What is it? Alfred who? No, I'm going to be like,
no. You think?
Yeah, dude. There's people that watch the stream and used to listen to WRS that are born in the 2000s. Mike,
what I was asking, was it Josh? No, it wasn't Josh. Who was it? Somebody I was talking to. It wasn't Josh. I don't know why I thought it was Josh, but they were like, I said, we were talking about Weezer. And they were like, who's Weezer?
Oh, dear. No.
I was like, what?
What's with his homies?
That's a joke,
not
right?
ringing a bell?
You're joking, right?
No. If you want. Nope, not ringing a bell. Oh, dear. That's depressing. That's sad. Danielle and I were going back and we were looking at Jimmy Eat World albums the other night, and we realized
it's so funny you say that. We had Jimmy Eat World on the other day.
But the first bad, I use the bad loosely in comparison to their earlier stuff. The first bad Jimmy Eat World album is over a decade old.
Yeah, I'm not a very big fan, but I can still it's still good music.
The first bad one is over a decade old. Oh, that came out 2 weeks ago. No. And I was watching MXPX doing a live stream. And then he's like, we've been doing this for 25 years. And I was like,
holy shit, you motherfuckers. Don't ever say that again.
No, you haven't.
We were just talking about this. Well, you remember when AC/DC was touring and then they were about to come to Philly and they had to cancel because they got sick or some shit or something happened and they had to cancel the rest of the tour. And that was the kickoff of shit. There are some bands we need to see and see again, and we need to see them now before they never tour again.
I am terrified. My wife's. Go ahead.
Yeah, now it's dude, what? We might miss out on some really good shit.
One of my wife's favorite bands is the Deftones. She has never seen them live. We were going to see them at Disney, and we had to cancel because she was pregnant. And then we were going to go see them again at Disney, probably, I think it was this year or something, and we had to cancel because of COVID. I am worried that my wife will never get to experience the Deftones live, which is a super cathartic experience.
I have never seen them live, but that's one of the ones on the list. I need to go.
Mike, you have to see them live. They're so good.
As soon as the shit breaks, as soon as tours start going again and they start allowing venues to open, it needs to be a priority.
Everybody's going to tour as soon as they can again. Everybody. People are already booking tours for August 2021. I'm seeing it out there already. So it's going to happen. There's festivals rebooked for July. It's going to happen. I just hope people are smart enough to allow us to continue to book these tours uninterrupted. Stupid people out there making everyone else sick.
Yeah, I really want to get back to going to concerts again. Can we please?
I want to go back to Disney. I went to Star Wars once. I have not been back since. I would like to go back again and build my own lightsaber since I let my son do it the first time. Thank you. I didn't get to build a droid because I didn't have time. I would like to go back and build a droid. My oldest, her birthday present was supposed to be a lightsaber and a droid. She couldn't go. Thanks, COVID.
That sucks.
Freaking COVID, dude.
That sucks.
Yeah. I mean, people have it much worse than me. They lost their jobs and stuff. So I'm super thankful that I've been able to sustain through this. But from a pure entertainment and enjoyment standpoint, COVID has been a bitch, other than getting to see movies on my couch, which I've been super stoked on.
Have you seen Rock and Rolla yet?
No,
Damn it.
I will watch it.
Damn it.
I'm doing the MCU watch through. I've never seen all the MCU movies, so that's 30 something movies, dude.
All right.
I'm doing that. We just finished Handmaid's Tale.
So now that you have more time.
I don't, but go ahead.
Oh, that's true. You've shifted priorities. I should restate.
It's different time, but go ahead.
Right. I was going to say, are you doing any prep for Shadowlands?
Yeah. My shaman that I got 2 or 3 characters to 120, and then I have a shaman that's 116, I think.
Are you maining shaman?
No, I'm just leveling up whatever I have, and then I'll kind of see what the meta is, and then I'll dive in.
How do you pick a fucking main in this game?
Some people just go with stuff based on whatever the best DPS is for that part of the expansion. Some people, or the best healer or best tank, I should rephrase. Some people just go with what they like and they stick with that forever. And people like me just hop around to whatever makes them happy that day. There's no scenario where I can actively raid the way I want to, which is why I couldn't enjoy Classic. Okay. So I am living in a world where I am just going to do LFR rating, and that'll probably be the most that I do, which is fine. The game is built like that now that I can enjoy it. So
right.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they delayed it. Not that I know anything firsthand, but everything that I've been seeing, keeping up on the news.
I'm fine with the delay. It doesn't bother me.
You know what cracks me up though? I'm so happy that they delayed it. Now they won't have to crunch.
Oh, the non-crunch people? Yeah.
No, that's not how it works, dumbass.
No, they're still going to crunch. I know people hate crunch.
Delays mean more crunch.
I know people hate the idea of crunch.
Can we talk about this for real? Because I do have some shit to get off my chest for this too.
There's two ways to look at crunch. There's two ways to do crunch. There's a responsible, ethical way to do it, and there's a very unethical way to do it. And assuming that every company does it in the unethical way, that's the problem. There's abuse of employees, abuse of their time, abuse of that, and then there's legitimate crunch to finish a project appropriately. And to a lot of the people that work on these projects is art, and they're trying to make sure that their art, when they release it to us, is in line with the vision that they originally had. Are there project managers involved in line level employees? Yeah. Are there deadlines to hit? Yeah. Is there finances and all sorts of stuff mixed into it? Yeah, absolutely. But there's responsible, ethical ways to go through a time crunch on a project, regardless of your industry. And there is super unethical, terrible, abusive ways to do it as well. That's my 2 cents.
Why is it that this is the only magical industry that is not allowed to institute overtime?
Because it's the only one that the people we interact with have think they have a say in.
Like, I'm sorry. Okay, let's preface this whole thing before I get into it, because I am so sick and tired of hearing this. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. You know how many other people work like that every fucking day?
I mean,
Stop.
if my shit doesn't get done, I got to stay up and get it done. Monday,
so
I work till 10 o'clock. You work 12-hour shifts. I'm not trying to say, oh, look at me. But Monday I work till 10 o'clock because I needed to get some stuff done. But
you had shit you had to do.
But and the response is always going to be like, oh, well, you're your own boss. Yes, that's true. But this comes into the ethics of it. Are they being paid to do it?
Right. Okay. So let's preface that. Barring the fact that your company doesn't mandate you to work extra hours because you love the company you work for, looking at you, Blizzard, barring that they actually compensate you fairly for your time, for the overtime you put in, you are compensated, and you are compensated fairly. All right. All those things into consideration, like you said, working on an ethical level. And I know not all these companies do it, Blizzard. But, and I sympathize with those people, and I think it's horseshit. And if you're gonna fight a fight, that's a place that I would fight, right? CD Projekt Red, probably not a place I would fight because there's crunch. I'm willing. I mean, if I was like a betting guy, I would probably wager that they're compensated fairly. And over the course of a project, which could take 4 to 5 years. Is that fair for a AAA game?
I'd say that's the median.
Okay. So, and crunch happens around when?
Last 2 to 3 months.
So towards the end of a 5-year project.
Yeah. So previously, before updates, it was probably the last 3.
Okay, yeah.
In the 6
so
months,
let's not
it was,
count.
Yeah, it was the prior. But no, now you can push an update live. So
Right.
it's usually
You can
the
push
last
an
3 to
update
6
live.
months. Yep.
Okay, so the crunch that everyone's complaining about, is the end of a actual game development cycle, not a live service, but at the end of the cycle. You're talking about 4, 5, 6 months in a 5-year project. Okay, once every 5 years? Are you fucking kidding me? Accountants, starting salary for an accountant is what? $39,000 to $43,000 a year? And every year tax season hits, what do you think? They just punch an 8-hour day and go home?
No, I know.
They have crunch every fucking year. For 39 to what? 43, 45K starting salary? Granted, you put time in, but we're talking about ground level because they would make the least amount of money, which means it's not really a fair balance between the time that they're investing versus what they're getting compensated. But that's entry level. That is what it is. Accountants do it every year. Every year. Why the fuck are these people? Every time I get on Twitter, I got to see somebody. Yeah, this evil crunch. Crunch. Oh my God.
Because everyone wants. So those people want. They want fair wages, fair work hours, fair everything, but they don't realize that will increase the timeline on an entire project. Probably bump it out another 2 to 3 years.
But why is it not okay to hold projects to a timeline? It doesn't have to be gaming. So that by that logic, any fucking job can just take as long as it wants.
Right.
You're building an apartment complex and people have already purchased these homes. Oh, it's okay. Take your fucking time. Go ahead. We're going to give you another 3 years to get this done. No,
yeah,
they got a
the
fucking
inverse of
timeline.
That's the problem. Is it's going to take 8 years to push out a game, a title, and you think of all the extra expenses incurred along that way, and then having to report that to shareholders, and then the
construction companies have to do the same thing. Construction companies actually budget for theft because shit gets stolen on job sites. So that puts you back a day. All the copper you had to run all your lines, gone, stolen. Now you got to go get more. And that has to be budgeted for. There's shit in every industry that is unplanned and needs to be dealt with on the fly. Like, again, this is all assuming that everything is done ethically and these people are being treated like human beings and they're being compensated fairly. But to cry every time that that a company is undergoing crunch, why is that surprising? I just don't get it. I don't get it. A lot of people work. A work day could be 15 fucking hours. A lot of people do that. It's not the norm. 8-hour workday is the norm in the country, but a lot of people don't just work 8 hours. My wife was cut down to part-time. However, there's a live event going on. She is working essentially 2 days a week for free. Because shit needs to get done. Why can't people grasp that?
Because they want to create a world where she doesn't work for free and she gets paid for her time. But
well, if she
it's not so simple as that. That's the problem. It's not like, oh, they're just not being paid time, and then you get the argument about who's making the money. Yeah, could there be more invested into the process and people making less money at the top? Yeah, but then you're going to run the problem of risk investment and blah 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 blah. This is a much deeper issue than like the way we're describing it. It goes to baseline political factors and economic factors.
And I can acknowledge that.
Yeah,
I mean, if you look at a company like Blizzard and the money that Bobby makes, versus what they force their fucking devs to work for,
right,
and the conditions to work in, and the area in which they force them to live in,
right,
that is unethical to me. That needs to be fixed. That is a fucked up situation. And if a fight is to be had, I would hope that that's where that fight would start.
Right.
But
you
when
also
you see these journalists come out and they start bitching at CD Projekt Red, well, I'm willing to bet of most companies, CD Projekt Red probably treats their people pretty well.
and the other thing is like these are the same people too that like if there's a bug on launch, who's gonna fix that bug? You think it's the guy or the person waiting at their desk or waiting for the call? Well, all right, I worked too many hours, so I'll fix it next week when I've
No,
I
that's
have more
part
hours.
of the job. It has to exist.
Those will be the first people to complain about the bug on top of it. So
unless you want to start having devs work in shifts and somebody takes a night shift and somebody takes a day shift and fix it as they come in. I mean, you're working with limited personnel, limited resources. So now you gotta bolster both shifts. So now you're hiring double the people. It's just, that's part, like, again, I would hope that these people are being compensated fairly, and if they're not, then it's an injustice, and fight it and complain about it. But to just blindly complain about crunch makes no sense to me.
Yeah. You need
a
the
ton
details.
of industries operate under what they call crunch, everyone else calls overtime.
You need details in any situation, and there's definitely a lack of details being passed around on a social level on multiple issues.
That's
and
true.
Things like that.
That's true.
Because, there's an element of cancel culture that exists and is doing good. There's an element of cancel culture that exists and is doing terrible things. As a Star Wars fan, what they did to the actress who played Rose, to the point where she had to delete her Instagram, is disgusting, dude. Disgusting. Like, yeah, Rose's character was written terribly and kind of sucked. Why are you gonna blame the actress who got handed the script?
Right.
And it's just ugly and disgusting and gross. And I use Star Wars obviously because Tim and I are steeped in it with the podcast, and we're really, trying to make our way into that community. And, there's some rocks that you pull up in that community. It's just worms and gross things underneath it. But on the surface, it's, it's a fun thing that we all grew up loving. But, and it can be compared to most communities. We experienced it with Destiny. Mike, you were a part of all of that, and I was a part of all of that. And, I owe my career to what Destiny did for me. And I have no ill will against Bungie or, lots of people in the community that are fantastic. But there's so many terrible habits and things that happened along that journey in the community that are like recently exposed or now people are realizing people's true colors and things like that. Bottom line is, as we close out the first episode, man, this was like a standard like Kevin and Mike chit chat. You realize that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Fun, good conversation, ending on a serious note with Mike yelling.
Yeah.
This is
I'm
it.
sorry.
This is the show. No, keep going. This is the show.
Dude, anyone who listened to WRS, every time we get on. Oh, sorry. Like, Wayne was work at the restaurant all fucking night. Had to stay up late, come in and do 3 other different things. Pete. What's that? No, Pete gets like 2 hours of sleep at the office and he's up for work again. I went on over a month straight, every fucking day. Work 12 hours, 16 hours, 20-hour days. That's just my life. That's part of the fucking job. Like,
I don't remember anybody boycotting Best Buy when I worked there on Thanksgiving, and I had to get up at 2 a.m. to go to work. Like, I don't remember any of that. I don't see any of that anymore. People are so quick to go there, and then they'll be the first ones online at the store on Black Friday.
I don't know.
And as a former retail employee, Black Friday for many years was the worst day of my life.
Oh,
the worst.
Oh.
So if you are one of the people screaming about crunch and you have been shopping on Black Friday, I think you need to open up your soul and do a little bit of searching. On that note, I'm Kevin. He's Mike. You can follow me on Twitter at KevinXVision, and he's metric_methods with a Z. We will have all the socials for you on episode 2 because I have to secure them this evening. in the past as you listen to this in the future. But in the meantime, you can go to raredrop.co and click on the button that says the Old Fashioned Podcast, and it'll take you to the Twitter page, the Twitch page, wherever you need to go on the interwebs to check out the Old Fashioned Podcast and all of the other content we'll be creating ancillary to this. There's also a slew of other cool shit on the Rare Drop website. So again, raredrop.co. You go to kingscoastcoffee.com and get some good stuff. What are you drinking right now, Mike, for King's Coast? Not right this second, but like what bag are you into right now?
Roaster's Choice.
Oh, he's going Roaster's Choice. I just got Lupo's Murder Free Blend in the mail, so I'm gonna crack that open tomorrow and yeah, I'm gonna go probably pour over that to really.
Does the front label have like a hatchet on it? I feel like it's a missed opportunity.
No, but Wayne sourced it from conflict free zones, so like places that are not in conflict or owned by warlords and things like that.
Very nice.
In the title, yeah, he leaned into the meme and did something nice because Wayne's a good guy.
Okay.
So that was a cool little promotion. I like it. And, you know, we couldn't get Lupo to stop using the damn meme, so we just leaned into it.
Fair enough.
So you can go to kingscoastcoffee.com and check out Lupo's new roast, the murder-free roast. I'll let you know how it is on episode 2 because I'm going to crack into that bag tomorrow because I just got it today. And again, raredrop.co. You can catch up on all of the other episodes. If you're missing the worst radio show, you can just type it into YouTube and go to the archive, and all the episodes are there. So if you want to go back and listen to stuff that Mike and I did previously, don't listen to anything before episode 50 because that is the dark ages. You want to listen to everything after episode 50.
Gets real medieval.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So check that out. And that's it for this week. You can check us out on episode 2, where I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about, but I think it'll be another interesting and good conversation.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of shit.
Yeah. Have yourself a fantastic week. And Mike and I will see you on Twitch or on the next episode.
Later.